Yes, there are parties. Sometimes you might even be lucky enough to hop on a flight to Boston. NYU Abu Dhabi students actually experience burnout at least once a semester. Hello, welcome back to my channel, my friends. Today's video is the continuation of my university review series, and the topic is campus life and facilities. When I was working with prospective applicants, I was often asked, so what do NYU Abu Dhabi students do apart from studying? And the answer is loads. Whether it means staying on campus and catching up on some rest and sleep, or trying an event or two from the university's overflowing schedule, or venturing out into the city and sometimes even going abroad for the weekend, there's little that NYUAD students don't do. All the details and some tea about that in this video. A perhaps unnecessary disclaimer here to say that in March 2020, the regular flow of life on campus has been disrupted, stripping away much of its normalcy. Half of the students went home, leaving NYU Abu Dhabi a complete desolation as events were either cancelled or moved online. And the people hid away in their rooms where they found comfort and peace in these trying times. As of now, the campus operates in more of like a co-working style way, with classes still taking place online, but some facilities being open. Here's what my friend Daniela, who's currently on campus, has to say about this.
I think, of course, well, first of all, of course, it's just like wearing masks and like having this pre-sign up kind of things going on. But at the same time, also, I think some social gatherings, for example, right? There used to be no limit pretty much in terms of the number of people that could, for example, visit you at a dorm, but now it's limited to 6 people. So definitely we cannot really have like larger gatherings or something like this. Apart from that, also, I see like, for example, the library, they have reduced their hours. And also they actually make sure that there are some specific time slots where you can work, and then there are also some time slots when they're taking time to disinfect everything and to, make sure that everything is clean. It's kind of the same thing actually at the gym. So I think that's like just another thing, because I think all of us at NYUAD were so used to studying at the library, like, just leaving our stuff there for 24/7.
Yeah, living there, our second dorm.
Definitely, yeah. Actually, I think this semester in the spring, it doesn't feel that much different. Of course, we have online classes, and of course, we have to wear masks and, like pre-register for some specific places, like gym, for example. But at the same time, I feel like right now, people are adjusting, so it gets way better. Last semester, though, of course, it was like we had way less people on campus, so it felt a bit more empty. But yeah, I think it's getting better right now. We just have to, of course, make sure that everyone is following some regulations and some rules. But I think it definitely is like, we can definitely see that people are getting used to the new normal. So I think this kind of things, of course, online classes, but actually a couple of them, especially science classes and a couple of film classes, as far as I know, are actually in person. Actually, one of my friends is doing film, and so her capstone actually is like related to some kind of installation which she has access to at the art center, so she actually goes there to work. That's a good question. Honestly, I think I really miss like in-person classes, even though of course like professors are putting in like a lot of effort into making these classes entertaining, like really like engaging. But I think it's so much different when it's in person, just because like when everything is online, you're just like pretty much in front of the screen 24/7, and your attention span just, it's limited. So sometimes you do lose focus. And also like some things, like for example, you can randomly meet new people, right? Like when you're walking out of class, you start a conversation, and like right now, I think you have to put more intention into, meeting new people and like being proactive with like the relationships that you develop on campus, like friendships wise and just like professional communication. So I think those are some things that I miss the most. So I hope that eventually, everything will start getting better.
By the way, Daniela has this awesome YouTube channel. She's also a small YouTuber like me. Her channel is about like business and finance and topics about business and finance. She asks some really interesting questions. So I'm just gonna pop a link up here and you can check it out for yourself.
Fingers crossed that this doesn't continue for much longer and we actually see NYU Abu Dhabi go back to its transient, dynamic, and busy self. For now, let's do a quick overview of the most popular places on campus. So let's start from the most important space, the dorms. The dorms are located on both wings of the campus and provide accommodation of two types, single and double rooms. Both are accommodations for 4 persons with 2 shared bathrooms and a living area. The only difference between them is that the single rooms accommodate individuals, so they're 4 individual rooms, whilst the double rooms are 2 rooms for 2 people each. NYU Abu Dhabi dorms are the best dorms across all 3 NYU degree granting campuses, period. The only competitors I can think of are the urban-esque dorms that are in the UK and Australia, and maybe the fancy villa that is in Florence. But otherwise, the accommodations that you find at NYU Abu Dhabi are top-notch and very, very comfortable. Moving on, other most popular places on campus include the D2 dining hall and the C2 campus center, where some students actually end up spending more time than in their rooms, as it houses the library, the gym and the fitness center, a few cafes, and nice study spots. C2 is an important place in the life of every NYU Abu Dhabi student because that's where most people study, grab a coffee on their way to class, pass through to catch some AC in the summer, or even meet their friends to play some pool or video games. Some majors, however, tend to settle in the A5 engineering studio, and others find a home in A1 Art Center. The Art Center is also very important because it is the most welcoming of the general public, who gather there for an occasional premiere or just another event. Undoubtedly, it is the busiest place on campus. And last, but definitely not least, and NYUAD wouldn't be NYUAD without it, is the Blacksmith Coffee Shop that's located right across from the Welcome Center, and was actually opened by an NYUAD class of 2015 graduate. God knows, people go there to study after they get tired of the library and find peace, happiness, and sometimes productivity. Alright, we've covered all the pillars when it comes to the facilities. Now let's answer the question, what do NYUAD students actually do outside of class? Well, the first one is easy. 90% of the time, people study. And yes, you guessed it, in the library. It's just so convenient with a coffee shop right outside it, a technology center within it, and lots of friends to talk to before you take a break to study. Next, NYUAD students gym. A lot. Well, at least I did. It is really not surprising when you have a wonderful team of coaches. And hello, if anyone's watching, I miss you guys. You have beautiful facilities and a full packed schedule of fitness classes. Man, I really miss the NYUAD gym. Then, as I mentioned previously, before the pandemic, there are always events happening on campus, like all the time. Every minute of the day, there's always something going on. From lectures at the NYUAD Institute, to cultural events organized by the Student Life Office, to even some student interest groups, SIG, they're called SIGs, events just like taking place throughout the week. There's just like always something to take part in. Alright, so at this point you might be wondering, this is cool and everything, but what's about the real deal? Like, are there any parties on campus? Well, the answer is yes, there are parties, and a lot of them. And yes, we are not allowed to drink on a student visa. And no, I cannot say that it doesn't happen. And I think I'll just leave it at that for you to discover when you actually get there. The campus is a self-sustaining, almost permanently busy bubble, which can trap you for months. Trust me, I've been there. But you are very much encouraged to actually go out and explore. Because outside, you might find yourself on the beach, or in a cool ethnic restaurant, or even just browsing the shops in a local mall, or sometimes even doing kayaking in the local mangroves. Sometimes you might even be lucky enough to hop on a flight to Boston, or New York, or Hong Kong to attend a debate tournament. Other times, you could have chosen to go to an important conference for which NYU Abu Dhabi actually provides competitive financial support. Okay, so another important part of your life at NYUAD are the midterm breaks. So in total, you get 4 breaks in the winter and the summer, and then 2, in the middle of the semester after you take your midterm exams. And honestly, I can't think of a single person I've met throughout my time at NYUAD that hasn't traveled during that break, at least once. Because it's just such a convenient opportunity to grab your newly made friends and just hop on a flight to, I don't know, the nearest country. Like, some fun and very popular destinations include Turkey, Lebanon, Zanzibar. People go to Thailand often, and just so on and so forth. For instance, in my 4 years, I went to, first of all, across the Emirates, then to Sri Lanka, then to Georgia, after that to Turkey, then I did Scotland and Jamaica. And that's only for the midterm breaks. Imagine how much travel opportunity you have. Obviously, put in the asterisk that these are like non-pandemic times. Yeah, inshallah, the world goes back to normal very soon. And when you choose to attend NYU Abu Dhabi, you don't have to worry anymore about any sort of travel restrictions. And you could just enjoy your time there for the wonderful experience that it is. Having said that, before this turns into a love letter to NYUAD, because it was just such a nice time, I want to quickly address a few downsides to such a plentiful and busy life. For one, you naturally get FOMO. Yes, I'm talking about the fear of missing out. Have you ever gone to the supermarket to just buy tomato sauce? And when you arrive there, there's so many of them on the shelf that you just end up leaving with a bag of chips. Yeah, that happens way too often at NYUAD because there's just too many events to choose from, and sometimes you just end up being in your room and chilling, not doing anything. FOMO is exhausting, and it often leads to burnout. And many NYU Abu Dhabi students actually experience burnout at least once a semester, because imagine trying to juggle a full schedule of very demanding classes, building a social life, as well as trying to grow personally through career opportunities or conferences or just attending events. It's taxing, man, and it's impossible to do everything well in such high volumes. Something has to give. Another is the campus bubble. Yes, it is wonderful to meet people all the time and form new friendships every hour of the day. But sometimes you just have no way of avoiding people that you don't like. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it's a bit of a problem. You just can't find anonymity on campus. And sometimes you really need that anonymity. Imagine having a bad day or screwing up somewhere really bad, or what often happens, having a fight with a friend and then seeing all your other friends stop talking to you, or being in a relationship, in a friend group relationship, where once you break up with your significant other, you're just you also break up with your friend group. It can be really difficult sometimes to maintain good social dynamics and feel like socially healthy because of all these things, because you can't just like get away from it and hide from it in your room. You'll have to resurface someday. But for that, I think a good support system are the study away opportunities, which people cherish for many reasons, one of which being that just anonymity and being able to lose yourself in a city where nobody knows you and you don't owe anything to anyone. You can be your full self. And this kind of well-rounded experience is what makes NYUAD so worth it. All those difficult moments, all those like stressful hours and bad professors and friend breakups and all that drama, so worth it in the end, that you just end up remembering NYU Abu Dhabi positively pretty much in every way. And since I started talking about study away, this is what the next video is going to be about. And maybe an element of surprise, a sprinkle of something important on top that you, I promise, really care about. So if you have any sort of suggestions or questions or something that you want me to mention in that next video, please put it in the comments down below, either for this video or the previous one about academics, so that I can actually consider it before recording the video. Alright, so this wraps up the video for today. I hope that you liked it, and if you did, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to make sure that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos in the series. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!